My name is Aaron Gray, CEO of Aunt Bertha. In the next 5 minutes, I'm going to give you a glimpse into the social services searches we are seeing since COVID 19. Our goal is to take this data and put it in the hands of decision makers. And if you have this data, you can mobilize the right people and put the right funding in place to try to get ahead of some of those needs. So if you are a foundation or a policymaker wanting access to our data and insights, email us at support@auntbertha.com and we'll respond right away. We're the leading platform for connecting people in need with available government and charitable programs. Being around for 10 years, we've indexed about 350,000 program locations nationwide. People that are looking for services are using findhelp.org to find those services, and organizations that supply those services, like food pantries, housing organizations, are operating on our platform. Since COVID-19 started, our usage has gone through the roof. So I'm telling you this because we have a ton of data about what's happening in the social sector. What we're looking at here is the engagement throughout the country. So I'm going to just share a couple of things. All of these searches are indexed by county all the way down to the zip code. So we can get a sense of people that are out there in positions in which they need help, or these are professional social workers and care coordinators and volunteers who are out doing searches on behalf of other people. Here's Travis County. You can get a sense of the search activity that's happening in Travis County. Let's just go to the other coast. Here's San Mateo County out in California, Memphis, Tennessee, Shelby County. You can see growth happening there. The growth is happening coast to coast in rural communities and in large communities. Our next thought is, could we learn something from this data that allows us to have a bird's eye view to see which nonprofits currently are on the ground helping people? So I'm going to switch over to a new graph, and what this shows you is a different view of what are the programs that individual people in need are seeing. So I'm just going to look at Texas, where we live. I look at Travis County, and if I look up in this table, you can see that the number of people that are engaging with the top programs in Travis County. We work with the coordinated intake called ECHO, and you can see there's been a pretty strong growth in the number of people by week that are engaging. You can also begin to see programs that normally don't get a lot of interest, but then are also growing because of services that are happening. I'm going to go ahead and click Travis County again, and I'm going to click View Top Search Terms. So you can see that there's a pretty strong demand post-COVID for food pantries. And again, you can see this for any county in the United States. If you're interested to see if there's a strong change pre and post-COVID, you can actually filter that as well. But maybe you're also interested in what's happening with housing. The top term is help pay for housing under normal circumstances. But what are the top terms otherwise? Post-COVID, a lot of people are searching for help paying for utilities. I'm going to go back to San Mateo County, which has a much different makeup. You can get a sense what that increased search activity is. It's pretty stark. Now I might be interested, okay, which programs are people interacting with during this pre and post-COVID time? And so you can see a growth in engaged users that are looking at that program. And you can also see for these types of food programs, brown bag programs, they're food delivery programs, these are people that aren't getting food for whatever reason. Lastly, growing up in a small town myself, I'm really interested in what is happening in these small communities, in areas of the country that there may not be as many resources. And even though the user count is not as high, they may not have a lot of options. So if I'm concerned about helping people in these rural communities, I can reach out to some of these rescue missions and some of these churches and say, hey, do you need more funding? And chances are, and at least based on our experiences, you'll get somebody to answer that phone and say yes. And they know their communities best. If you're out there and you have access to people, please share findhelp.org with your grantees and constituents so that they can share with their network. The more people who know about the resources within their community, the more that we can prevent unnecessary suffering because of lack of information. The more people we help, the better this data set is that I'm showing you today. Use this data set to inform your relief strategies. We know that decision makers are going to need every tool in their tool belt to get ahead of this. So let's see how we can roll up our sleeves together and tackle this as a community. Thanks and stay safe.